let us see what he has in store for us tonight, and we can take home some of those important lessons that he has taught us. Thank you, and Sriram.
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। रम 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 राम बोले, रम 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 राम बोले,
रम 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 राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
रम 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 राम बोले,
रम 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 राम बोले,
रामा रामा सुख रामा, रामा रामा दुख रामा,
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 रम 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 राम बोले,
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 हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रामा रामा हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रामा रामा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, रामा रामा हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, रामा रामा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, रामा रामा हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, रामा रामा हरे हरे,
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, सच्ची सनातन धर्म की जय। खड़ा हो जाए, आरती लीजिए। Let us all please stand as we join in the opening आरती। शुभम करोतु कल्याणम, आरोग्यम सुख संपरम, मम शत्रु विनाशाय, दीप ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते, सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी, भुक्ते मुक्ते प्रदायिने, मंत्र मूर्ति सदा देवी, महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। रामाय रामभद्राय, रामचंद्राय वेधसे, रघुनाथाय नाथाय, सीताय पतये नमः। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय की,
आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय की,
आरती श्री रामायण जी की,
कीरति कलित ललित सिय की,
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनगारि शेषायनुशारद वरनी पवन सुत कीरत नीके
आरती श्री रामायण जी की विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
गावत वेद पुराण यश रस साहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथ ने रस मुनि जन धन संतन को सरवस सारयंश सम्मत सबही की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
गावत संकट शंभु भवानी अरुगत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास याति कवि पूज बकानी काकभूषण गरुरत यही की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पीकी सुभग सिंगार मुख युगति की करण रूप भव पुत्रियमी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
विरति कलित ललित स्यपि की
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय जय
जगदम्बा देवी ओ जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी ओ जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति
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 ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति
ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा
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 आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियति की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियति की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कलित ललित सियति की
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनगार शेषयनुशारद वर्णि पवन सुत कीरतनी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियति की
कीरति गणित ललित सियति की
कीरति कलित ललित सियति की
कीरति गणित ललित सियति की
कीरति कलित ललित सियति की
कीरति गलित ललित सियति की सियावर रामचंद्र की जय आसन पर बैठिए Let us all please be seated. Host and members of the immediate and extended family, I take this opportunity to welcome one and all who have come to join with us. We welcome all of those who are viewing us and all of those who are listening to us, to all kind and no corporate sponsors. We express sentiments of gratitude and expressions of thanks. We pay obeisance at the lotus-like feet of all our Brahman Devatas. And so this evening, as we prepare our minds and our souls to listen to the beautiful Katha, Heart Jod Binti Karo, let us bow our heads in prayer as we chant mantras of benediction as we pray. Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah Aim Saraswati Namah Sri Guru Charana Kamalibhyo Govinda Namo Namah Shuklam Varadam Deva Shashi Varanam Chaturbhuja Prasanna Varanam Dhyai सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये तिगता वक्रतुण्डा महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा या कुन्देतु तुषारहारधवला या सुप्रवस्त्रविता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डलकरा या श्वेतपरमासना या ब्रह्मच्युतार शङ्करा प्रभृतिवी देवे सदा वन्दिता सा मां पाप्तु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापं तिगता सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थिसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते वन्दे देवौ मापतिं सुरगुरु वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगमर वन्दे पशूनापतिं वन्दे सूरसुशाङ्कराङ्गनेनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाधर कपिरर वन्दे शिवाशङ्करं कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारिसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् अज्ञानं तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानरञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरं मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. Using the dust of the lotus-like feet of Guru, I cleanse the mirror of my ignorant mind. Guide me onto the pathway of salvation. I beg of you, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwar, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Goswami Tulsidas Ji. This is his Pentava, and in golden words he begins to inscribe the Ram Charitra Manas. Varnanam Ritasanganam Rasanam Chandrasamapi Mangalanam Chakaritaro Bande Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwaswarupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashante Siddha Swantastamishwaram. Ramayana Sumiran. Jo sumirata siddha hoy Ganinayaka Kalivada Vadana Parahuvano Grahasoy Budhirashi Subhaguna Sadhana. Moka hoy bachar Tango chadaya girivara gagana Jasu kripa sodaya Prabhu sakala kalimana gagana. रहु श्याम करुणय रुण बारी जनयन करहु सो मम उरदान सदा चीर सागर सयन कुंदइंदु समरे कुमारमन करुणा आयना जाहि दीन पढ़ने करहु कृपा मर्दन मयना बंदो गुरु परकन्न कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरे महामोह तमपू दासु बचन रवि करनी करा बंदो पावन कुमार प्रलवल पावत ज्ञान दरा जासु हृदय आकाश बसहु राम चर्चा भरा श्री गुरु चरण सरोज जमन मुकुर सुरार बरनो रघुवर विमानय जोदायक पंचार बोधहीन तनु जानिके सुमीरो पवन कुमार बल बुध विद्या देहु मुहि हरहु कलेश विकार तुलसी कृत रमायना कथा करहु अनुसार आसन लीजे प्रेम हिता आओ पवन कुमार सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय अयोध्या राम लला की जय वृंदावन नाथ की जय। बोलो बे सब संतन की जय। सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। शरणम। बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन। बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन। कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन कमल बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन। जिनके कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति।
जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति।
जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति।
जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति।
पावत जन बतन उरे चंदन। ओ पावत जन बतन उरे चंदन।
पावत जन बतन उरे चंदन।
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
ओ बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
ओ बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत।
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत।
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत।
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत।
जनक सुता युत दुष्ट निकंदन।
जनक सुता युग दुष्ट निकंदन।
ओ जनक सुता युत दुष्ट निकंदन।
जनक सुता युग दुष्ट निकंदन।
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
ओ बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
ओ बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन। दीन ताप और जन्म मरण भैया। दीन ताप और जन्म मरण भय।
दीन ताप और जन्म मरण भैया।
दीन ताप और जन्म मरण भय।
दूर करत चिन्मी जने रंगन।
दूर करत चिन्मी जन रंजन।
ओ दूर करत चिन्मी जने रंगन।
दूर करत चिन्मी जन रंजन।
बंदो चरण कमल भक्त नमत चरणन में भगवन
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 कृपा करे सेवक भय बंदन
कृपा करे सेवक भय बंदन
ओ कृपा करे सेवक भय बंदन
कृपा करे सेवक भय बंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
ओ 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 बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसा प्रचोदयात् सरस्वती मां वंदना
लक्ष्मी करोतु कल्याणं आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदं मम शत्रो विनाशाय दीपज्योति नमस्तुते जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता जय 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 श्री राम राधिका माँ जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता प्रथम बिनाऊ मैं श्री गणेश को दूजे सरस्वती माँ तीज में बिन वो त्रिदेवा को जो यहाँ शीतला ओ तीज में बिन वो त्रिदेवा को जो यहाँ शीतला जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता होते मैं बिन ओ पांच सागर पार करा। ओ रामा ज्ञान की अनुपम कर ये भव सागर पार करा। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। पंचम बिन कृष्ण चंद्र को भक्ति सभी सिखला। वेद पुराण भागवत गीता तेनु पाप जरा। ओ वेद पुराण भागवत गीता तेनु पाप जरा। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। जय 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 सिया राम राधिका माँ। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता।
Ramayana Doha. Let us put our hands together. बारी उपकर राम गुना हर्षयगे कैलाश हर कहगे कैलाश। तब प्रभु पुनि कह सब विधि देउर पार। सब विधि देउर पार। सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। Tonight our katha takes us into a place called Ayodhya. And Ayodhya is not crying, Ayodhya is rejoicing. For Bhagwan Sriram, he has now been crowned the king of Ayodhya. And being crowned the king of Ayodhya, Ayodhya is a very festive place to be in. What are they singing? Sri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo de sake Ram se mile. Sri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo de sake Ram se mile. Sri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo de sake Ram se mile.
Sri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo de sake Ram se mile.
Ram se mile, Bhagavan 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 se mile.
Sri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo de sake Ram se mile. में आए, चलो रे सखी राम से मिले।
श्री राम अयोध्या में आए, चलो रे सखी राम से मिले।
Ayodhya is celebrating because Sri Ram is now crowned the king. Does Sri Ram have to wear a crown to be a king? Does he have to sit on a throne to be a king? He was born in the Raghukul dynasty, the dynasty of this family or this lineage that praised the Bhagwan Surya. Before he even entertained the thought of being the king, the kingdom belonged to him. And so Bhagwan Sri Ram, sitting there with the crown on his head and on the golden throne, there was a great meeting. And so in this great meeting, the Guru was invited. And so as Bhagwan Sri Ram sat on the throne, tonight the Katha begins to tell us. What does it say? Listen. Suni kapine kah kathari pahari, Tribhuvan re kah babahi pari, Maharaj karat sab abhisheka, Sunata halak nar virate viveka. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jai Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Even the devatas in the heavens knew that Bhagwan Sri Ram was about to be crowned, and he got the status of being the Raja, the king of the dynasty. And so looking down from the heavens, they all rejoiced as he sat on the throne. But leaving the heavens, a being came down on the earth, and he came with the intention of mischief. He left the heavens and came down on the earth with the intention of mischief. And coming with the intention of mischief, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. जही सकल कहनार करते की, सुख संपत्ति नर बीर कयते की, सुर तूत लब सुख कर जग माई, अंत काल रघुपति पुर जाई, मंगल भवन या मंगल हारी, प्रभु सुदशरथ अजीर बिहारी।
अजीर बिहारी रामा अजीर बिहारी, प्रभु सुदशरथ अजीर बिहारी।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा।
As celebration is happening, this being leaves the heaven and comes down on the earth, and he comes with the intention of mischief. Have you ever heard that word mischief before? Have you ever made mischief before? Have you ever been guilty of creating mischief? All of us at some point in our life would have done something mischievous, isn't it? And so who is he? Narada Muni. Narada Muni leaves the heavens And Narada Muni comes down and he enters into the kingdom in which Bhagwan Sriram sits on the throne. And Narada is coming there to create mischief. Coming there. As Narada Muni looked around, Narada Muni observed. And what will he observe? He becomes very envious of what he sees. What is he seeing? Listen, it tells us. Suno me kunta birat aur reza lakan bhagat kaha sampati aisa kapirup hanumat dehina bari samata hari trasadu kahina hari Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama
Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Narada Muni goes, he is disguised. Nobody can recognize him, and he's sitting and he's looking. And looking, Narada Muni is observing. He's observing and he remains very quiet. And what he sees makes him very jealous, very envious. Have you ever seen something that makes you jealous or envious? Have you ever seen something that somebody has that you wish that you could have? Have you ever seen the way some families behave and how they react to each other and wish that yours could behave the very same way? Have you ever seen the way some parents command the respect of their children and wish that your children could be respectful like theirs? Have you ever seen or wished like this? Narada Muni sat there, and in his disguise, Narada Muni in his mind, he became very envious. Everything begins in the all creation begins with a thought. The Yagna began in the mind. Everything begins in the mind. The ability to move, the ability to talk, the ability to help yourself, it all begins in the mind first. And so once you have the willpower, once you are willing, then you will be able. Because then we are taught God helps those who first begin to try to help them. Begin to try to help them. It is in trying that we can fail. It is in trying that we may fail. It is in trying that we will know what our true capabilities are. But if we never try, then we will never know. And so Narada Muni is sitting there. Narada Muni, he becomes very envious. And why? Narada in the heavens, he claims to be the best bhakta. He claims to be the closest being to Lord Vishnu. But yet when he comes on earth, he is seeing some being close to Sriram. And closer than he has ever been with Bhagwan Vishnu, this being is close to Sriram. And who is that being? Lord Hanuman. Seeing Hanuman at the feet of Sriram, Narada Muni becomes jealous, he becomes envious. Have you ever been jealous because of the relationship that friends share with each other? Hello? Have you ever been envious of the relationship that friends share with each other? And so seeing this, Narada Muni begins to plot in his mind some kind of mischief. What is he going to do? Listen, it tells us. Birata birata bhagarata kaha deki suno kahari kaha dehina deki nitavasa mangala kausilyana puri asena harati kaha Puri. Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Mangalamurati Maruti Nandan Sakalaya Mangalamurani Kandan. Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Narad, he waited for the opportune time when it became very quiet and when all of the beings had dispersed, they had moved. And so Narad, he summoned, who will he call? He called Lord Hanuman. And calling out to Lord Hanuman, Narad Muni begins to speak to Lord Hanuman. What kind of conversation you think Narad Muni will have with Lord Hanuman? Narad, who is envious of Lord Hanuman, what is he going to tell him? People come to you all the time. You know why? To find out what is your plan. To find out, or to try to find out what is the real essence of your success and your growth and your ability to smile and to be happy and to enjoy life. There are some people who think that your life will become stagnant without them. But they have forgotten that you existed before them and you will continue to exist without them. Some people come into our lives for a reason, and some people come into our lives for a season. I said one night that not everybody fits in on the journey. Some people find excuses not to accompany on the journey. But don't be worried and don't be alarmed and don't be disturbed about that. Because you know why? You know why? That's one less baggage you have to carry. And anything less you have to carry, then the journey becomes smooth and peaceful. Then the journey becomes an easy one. Then you're dragging excess baggage behind. And so, Narada Muni is having a conversation with Lord Hanuman. And listen to what he says. He says, "Oh Lord Hanuman, in a little while from now, all of the beings, they will come and they will all sit again to begin discussions. But I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to bow to the feet of every being who is present. But do not bow to the feet of the Guru. Do not bow to his feet. And I'll tell you why after." Listen to what he's saying. I'll tell you why after. Somebody ever instructed you to do something, and when you ask them why, they say, "I'll tell you after. I can't tell you now." That's sounding Trinidadian, eh? That's sounding more Trinidadian than a Ramayana tonight. Because that's how we operate. That's what we do. That's what we say. Do it, eh? Make sure and do it. And I'm going to tell you, I can't tell you now, but I will tell you tomorrow. I will call you and tell you. Huh? And you so have trust, you so have belief in the instruction that is being given, that you just follow the instruction blindly and land yourself into trouble. And when you end up in trouble, you end up in trouble alone. Eh? The person who instructed you, safe and away, and you in trouble. They say when you're in trouble, swim or else you will drown on your own. Well, they didn't say trouble, they say something else. But they say you better know to swim. Eh? Otherwise, you know what will happen? What will happen? It says, Narada Muni giving this instruction, Hanumanji recognizes who Narada Muni is. He knows that Narada is a divine soul. He knows that Narada is a bhakta of Bhagwan Vishnu. And he sees through the disguise. And so he follows the instruction. He is following the instruction because of the devotion that Narada possesses in him. Only bad people make mischief? Hello? Only bad people make mischief? Huh? Only the people with no jhandi in their yard, Hindus, make mischief. The one who have grey and blue and black and all different kind of color to impress the neighbor. Watch out, you know. Trouble. You know, it says Narada Muni, the celestial sage, giving the instruction. What will happen? Hanumanji is following. Bisara Hari Kaha Suni Kaha Nara Bahadur De Kaha Sanata Tabar Gupati Sab Sakayana Bole Sabhi Kare कर सिर कहा बोले जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम जय जय
Hanumanji, he follows the instruction that is given by Narada Muni. And so Hanumanji, he walks in and he begins to bow at the feet of everybody. But when he reaches to Bhagwan Sriram, Danvat Karo, he falls flat and his head touches the feet of Bhagwan Sriram. But sitting next to Bhagwan Sriram is not Mata Sita, is the Guru. And the Guru is sitting on the very same throne. And so Hanumanji bows to Sriram, but he does not bow to the Guru. Am I in the company of somebody and somebody walk up to you and talk to the other person and look at you as though you don't exist? How do you feel? You know, we are Trinidadians. We have a unique way of making people feel bad. We are Trinidadians. We have a unique way of insulting people indirectly. True or not? Hello? When you're in the Yagna, don't lie. When you're in the Yagna, talk the truth. And that's not only you, that's me too. Guilty as charged. We all do that. He bows to Sriram, but he ignores the Guru totally. But the Guru, being the compassionate being that he is, the Guru pays no heed, he smiles. A God-realized soul, a person who holds the status of being Guru, has no time to be petty. Do you know? A true Guru has no time to be petty. He is not concerned if you like him. He is not concerned if you don't like him. He knows for a fact that if you bad talk him, you go straight to hell. He knows that. So he has the assurance that he is protected. Not protected by you, not protected by your words, but protected by that being whom is his best friend, his Bhagwan, his God. So have you ever heard? From the lips of the Guru to the ears of... Have you ever heard that? From the lips of the Guru to the ears of... Bhagwan, God. For when he wishes good, you know what happens? We spoke one night in our Hawad about when there was to be a greeting in scripture, how they greeted each other. In most of the scriptures, they didn't greet each other as Sitaram, you know. They greeted each other as Ayushman Bhavati. And the reply was Bhavati Ayushman. Ayushman Bhavati, and the reply was Bhavati Ayushman. We look at each other. And we don't even say good morning. No respect. Hanumanji bowing to Sriram and not bowing to the Guru remains calm. Ever get vexed because somebody didn't talk to you? Ever see somebody walking towards you and by the time they reach to you, they cross the road, they go on the next side? Just because they don't want to talk to you? If they didn't talk to you, what has that done to you? Where did it make a hole? Huh? In kindergarten, we learn a proverb. And the proverb says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never. Have you ever heard that before? But you see, we learn that in kindergarten. And when we grow up to be adults, we think that that is no longer applicable. But that was a stepping stone into reminding us that when we grow into adulthood, that words will come our way. But words coming our way, some of them will be baseless and have no meaning. And so you have to throw them behind you and pretend that you are you're deaf. And so the Guru shows no emotion. And then Narada Muni eases his way slowly, slowly. And Narada Muni goes to the Guru. And you know where Narada Muni is going? Not to the feet of the Guru. He's going to the ears of the Guru. What do you think he's going to say? Somebody ever come to talk to you in your ears before? Huh? I don't want nobody to hear. When they don't talk to you, you have to wipe your ears the amount of spit it have in it. Huh? When they don't tell you the secret, your whole brain on fire. Huh? I am not concerned about anybody who is vexed. I am not concerned about anybody who likes to gossip. None of those things affect me. If you vex, it's affecting you, not me. My job is to be neutral, and the day I know you vex with me, I still come to you. Kuchi, kuchi, ku. I love you. And your vexness only affecting you, because when I go to sleep, I say, kuchi, kuchi, ku. Good for you. I am not carrying any baggage unnecessarily. I have learned you can't please everybody all day. You can make some people happy sometimes, but you cannot make everybody happy all day. Mantra of the night. And so as Narada reaches to the ears of the Guru, Narada is speaking. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what Narada is telling the Guru. परमः पीत कहा गुरु दर चाई बकत सुत मृदु पचन उतारी तब अति कीन मोरी सेवा का मुख पर बिन कर दे Rama Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama
Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama
Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama
Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama
Narad went to the ears of the Guru. And listen to what Narad is saying. Narad says, "Oh Guru, adorations unto you." He's not bowing like falling to the feet, but he's putting his hands together and he's saying, "Adorations unto you." Adorations unto you. How do you feel when somebody comes to you and they hug you? How do you feel? Huh? How do you feel? How do you feel when somebody looks at you and they smile and they put their hand together and they bow? How do you feel? Huh? That's why in the Yagyashala, when you enter, there is a little smiling face that puts a chandan and some perfume for you. See it? So the smiling face? I have said to the big smiling face, pull up the front chairs, and the big smiling face, but you say to the small smiling face, the big smiling face over here, They don't listen, they don't follow instructions, they don't care. Once they sit where they want to sit and they're comfortable. They smile, you look at that little face and you feel that little finger touch your forehead. How do you feel? Huh? How do you feel? It's as though they're saying, Swagatam, Swagatam, welcome, welcome. How do you feel when they pass with the Panchamrit and they're giving it to you? And with love, they pour the Panchamrit in your hand. And with love, and you bow and you drink the Panchamrit. And gracefully, that person is passing. How would you feel if somebody come and pelt the Persad on you and say, hey, take that. And you say, I want the next one. And from behind, they pelt it over. And they say, okay, take that. How would you feel? How would you feel about that? Narada goes to the heirs and Narada says, oh Guru, I observe this monkey. And hear how he's addressing. Listen to how he's. We like to call people names, you know. You all know that? We know about everybody and what days and how days and what kind of lifestyle they have. And we know to blame everybody. And we know who like what and who don't like what. And we know everything, you know. But you don't know nothing about your own self. Eh? You know that about everybody else. You could pinpoint everybody else's fault. Chiki says all the time, you see Chiki is sitting on that chair. She's getting a little old. So words of wisdom. Chiki says that you could take out a little pebble from in somebody else's eye. But you can't take out a boulders from your own one. Huh? You could see the pebble in somebody else's eye, but you can't see the boulders in your own eye. We like to sit down and watch everybody, and condemn everybody, and criticize everybody, and say all the bad things about everybody. When last you stand up and watch yourself in the mirror? Huh? When last? I said to them, I want a huge mirror by my bed. Because you see, when I'm going to sleep, I want to watch myself in that mirror. And I want to have a good conversation with myself. It's okay to talk to yourself, you know. You know what's not okay? It's not okay to answer back. Because then you know, what one, eh? Something wrong with you. It's okay to talk to yourself. But it's not okay to reply to yourself. And always remember that. Yogi Raj Narada said, I observed the monkey. How much times we call people names? Huh? We could hardly fit in with clothes and we call in other people fat. Huh? We look and we say, hey, Blackie. Huh? And you don't want to say Blackie, so you say, hey, Prunes. Huh? You change it to Dular name. Huh? Dular. It's better to be black outside and clean and pure inside than to be white and nice outside and you're inside black, you know. You know that? No amount of soap and water could clean your inside. It could wash you outside, but it can't clean your inside. Do you know that? And so, he says, I observed the monkey, and I saw that the monkey bowed to everybody, even Sriram. But the monkey didn't bow to you. Don't you consider that to be disrespectful? And the Guru says, well, I paid no heed. I paid no heed to that. For he bowed to Sriram, and Sriram is my chela. And so bowing to him is as though he has bowed to me. And Narada Muni said, really? I don't think so. I think he didn't bow because he genuinely disrespected you. Listen to how trouble is coming. I think he genuinely did not bow to you because he disrespected you. And not only that, he disrespected you in front of everybody. So I suggest to you, you must teach him a lesson. I suggest to you, you must discipline him. You must do something to discipline him. Somebody ever suggest to you what you must do? I suggest to you, don't talk to them for the rest of your life till you're dead. Huh? I suggest to you that when you see them, pretend you didn't see them. Huh? I suggest to you that when you see the number calling you, hang up the phone. I suggest to you, and I suggest to you, nobody should suggest to you. You should suggest to your own self that you don't want to be like them. You want to be better than them. You want to be above them. You never want to bring yourself down to their level. You want to shine and be above them all the time. And the Guru, hearing this, the Guru says, then what do you think I should do? How you think I should discipline him? And Narada Muni smiled because music, envy is speaking. Jealousy is speaking. Have you ever spoken out of jealousy before? Huh? I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. I'm talking about me. I have no time for gossip. If ever you have heard that I said something about you, it is a lie. And I want to tell you with no apology, my mouth is big enough to tell you what I want to tell you. And I'm not sending any message with anybody. I'm not afraid. There'll be the time when I want something done, and I will say to people closest to me, you go and do it. You do it. You do it. But I'll observe, I'll be the supervisor, I'll stand right there. And if anything untoward happens, I'm right there to correct it immediately. But I'm not sending any message to anybody. I'm capable of delivering my own message because I consider myself to be an adult. There are many people who have grown old in age but behave like little children. There are many people who have grown old by age but they have not gained wisdom. They have never grown to become wise. There are many people who think that I am all the material things and that make me important. That doesn't make you important. You know what makes you important? What makes you important? Your ability to be humble. Your ability to be simple. That's what makes you important. And so, the Guru says, Narad. The Guru is calling him by his name, right? Narad. The Guru identifies who he is. The Guru says, Narad, what should I do? And Narad says, Guru, listen, I have an idea. Clap with me, let's sing. Tehi kah tum mori priya kah pari mama hit bhava sukha din kai aju raj sampati pare tehi giri pavataya Everybody. Sing the name of Rama. Everybody together. Sing with me. Let's clap. Jai Ram, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya. Shri Ram, Jaya. Turn up your volume a little bit again. Everybody, sing with me. Jai Ram, Shri Rama, Jaya. Shri Ram, Jaya. I don't want to sound like we're in a concert, but I'm only hearing this side. And I'm not hearing this side. And all the big mouth people here. I'm not hearing you. When you sing the name of God, when you sing the name of Bhagwan, you're purifying your existence. Always remember that. Sing it with pride. You're afraid the person next to you will see your body? Close your eye. They wouldn't see you. Your eye closed. Never be worried about what anybody thinks about you when it comes to expressing your love for your Bhagwan. Never. Never be ashamed to call out his name. Call it out with conviction from your heart. And success, growth, prosperity, protection will come to you. Sing with me, everybody, from your heart. Not from your lip, from your heart tonight. Sing with me. Jai Ram, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya. Shri Ram, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya. मंगल भवनया मंगल ग्रभऊ सुदसरत अजीरबे. All your love. अजीर बिहारी रामा अजीरबे. ग्रभऊ सुदसरत अजीरबे. जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Narad, he gives an advice to the Guru. And listen to what Narad is saying. Narad says, why don't we put that monkey in the courtyard? He disrespected you in front of everybody. Then let us teach him a lesson in front of everybody. The little child believes, do for do no. The little child believes, do for do no. You know how much adults believe in that same thing? Huh? Adults believe the same thing too. Because you do that and because you so, I have to do that and I have to be so too. Huh? Let us teach him a lesson. Let us put him in a courtyard in front of everybody. And let us get the best archers in the kingdom to shoot him with arrows. Listen to how he's being penalized for not bowing, paying obeisance to the Guru. Put him in the courtyard and shoot him with arrows. And Narada is doing this because you know why? He is jealous. Have you ever heard that word jealous before? Jealousy makes people say all kind of things, you know. That make up something. Huh? Jealousy makes people do all kind of things, you know. You all know that? There is nothing to be jealous about. There is nothing to be envious about. In devotion and bhakti and religion and God, there is nothing to be, there is no competition. There is no best and no worst. We are all on the same quest. We are all on the same pathway. We are all trying to do the same thing to attain mukti, salvation, when that will come. All of us. That's the intention of our existence. Sadhana dhamma moksha karadwara paina jai paraloka savara. To gain mukti, salvation, that's our intent. But we can only get that when we are pure, when we are sincere. And so, giving the instruction to the Guru smiles. Somebody ever tell you something and you just smile? Huh? Somebody ever try, or in the middle of a conversation, somebody is talking to you and then you just start to smile because you're wondering how you'll do or what you could do to try to please that person and to make that person happier. What criteria do you use to choose your friends? What is a friend? I'll tell you what the proverb says. Listen to what the proverb says. Huh? And everything I'm telling you is what you could relate to, right, Margaret? A friend in need is a friend. Oh God, you all know it. Huh? What is a friend? What is a friend? Is a friend a person you only look for when you're in need? There's never been a time when I was in need and God did not provide for me. And when God can't come, He will send somebody. He will send some mode, some method. He will come. He will always be the provider. And for that, I am grateful. For that, every day I pray and I say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for coming through the medium of the person who will fix the pipe, and the people who will fix the pump, and the man who will help me feed the dog, and the man who will help me do this. Thank you, because you came through that person to help me. Thank you, God, for the person when I landed from India, and it was the last flight coming from New York, and our Prime Minister shut down the border. And they left us on the plane for 4 hours, contemplating on sending us back to New York. And everybody's afraid of COVID and afraid to die. And one man came. He come with a bottle of Lysol, and he come with a mask, but he came. And I said to him on the journey back from the airport, I said, "You're afraid, boy?" He said, "No, me afraid. And if I die with you. I'm getting COVID from you and I'm dying." But thank God we didn't die together. Eh? Thank God. Because I don't know what would have happened on that journey. The Atma journey. During that time, I quarantined myself. And there are the people who knew that I was quarantined, and you know what they will do? They will come and they will drop the food. They will drop off the food. And that's before we know anything about COVID. Eh? That's before we have any understanding of COVID and what it will do and how you could really die. And I think in that time I put on more than enough weight. Huh? Because it was meals for breakfast and meals for lunch and meals for dinner and meals from here, there and everywhere. Anything. Everything. The guru gives the instruction and he says, put the monkey, put Hanuman out in the courtyard. We're going to have a learning exercise. A learning exercise. A learning exercise. Have you ever learned from somebody else's mistake? Last night we were walking out the gate and I saw something on the ground and I said to Dave, "Dave, what is this?" And Dave said, "That's somebody's soul." I said, "Soul? What do you mean by that? Somebody's soul?" He said, "Yeah, that's somebody's soul. Their soul drop out." I said, "Their soul drop out? Then that means that somebody dead." I said, "And his soul looks black." He said, "I mean shoes, na boy, shoes." And I left here thinking, what will our soul look like when it really drop out? When our soul comes out of the body, what color will it be? What will it look like? You know, there is a bhajan that talks about that. Eh? It talks about soul. When your soul has to stand in front of the maker. You know what it says? It says that day you put your hand together and with tears in your eyes, you're looking at Bhagwan and you're saying, "Maine chadhar or ki kaise dwari tumhari aao he pavan parameshwar mere he pavan परमेश्वर मेरे मन ही मन शर्माओ मेली चादर ओढ़ की कैसे मेली चादर ओढ़ की कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आओ हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे मन ही मन शर्माओ मैंने चादर
ओढ़ के कैसे मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे.
God sent us into the world with a clean, pure sword. Huh? And just as He sent you, this was your gift. But a day will come when you'll have to present this gift back to Him. He sent you with His shawl clean and pure. But by the actions and the deeds and the words, when you take this shawl back to Him, will it be pure? I looked at the black shoe sole and I wondered, what will my soul look like? What have I done to purify, to cleanse my soul? What have I done? What have I done to prepare myself for when that day will come, so that my soul will gain salvation? It says, Hanumanji is standing in the middle of the courtyard. Hanumanji has no clue what is happening. He is told to stand there. You know, much times you have no clue as to the mischief that is happening. What does the enemy look like? Hello? What does the enemy look like? What does the enemy look like? You know what your enemy look like? Like a friend. Isn't it? Hello? Is that true or not? The enemy looked just like a friend. And the friend looked just like a... Oh, why are you all saying that? Is that all or some? Is that all or some? We have some true friends too, you know. But we have some true enemies who appear to be like friends. They come and they just want to know, to hear. Oh, there is a word we use for that in Trinidad. You all know the word? They come to do what? To answer. Please. Don't answer. They're looking at everything and watching everything to find the fault and to see and to hear what you could have seen and what you didn't see and what you should have seen. And when you call my name and when you didn't call my name and who name you should have called. And, Your name could be anything. I love you the same way. You know that? I don't care what your name is, you know. I love you the same way. I go in the back and you're standing up for food. I am helping you. I'm filling the box for you. Huh? Earlier today, a lady who is in her 90s, she has been after me all the time. Baba, I want to do a done. Baba, I want to do a done. I'm living alone. I want you to come to my home and I want you to do the done. But you have to arrange everything. You have to look after everything. And I say to her, Mama, I promise you I will arrange everything. But she's impatient. Huh? She wants it. She wants it, but she's impatient. Loving. Old, but has all the marbles in one basket. Know everything. You can't tie her up at all. She knows everything. And I made all the arrangements today, right here. I bought the cow. I made the Persad. Cooked the lunch. We got the pundit. Me. We made Mama come. We did it done. And after we did everything, we did the puja up on the stage. We did the go down. We gave the cow in down. We did everything that she wanted to do. And afterwards, she said, Baba, I want to tell you something. I said, what? She said, tell them we had to change your name. I said, change my name? She said, yeah. I tell them that we had to change your name. I said, so what are you changing my name to? She said, changing your name to tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? She said, well, every time I call you and I tell you come, you say you're coming tomorrow. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. So I changed your name to tomorrow. And I started to laugh. I said, Mama, well, let's not call the Pandit tomorrow again. Let's think about what the Pandit did today. The Pandit have kept the promise, the vow. You said to me, arrange everything. I arranged everything. You said to me, this was your desire, and you can no longer manage, and you wish to do this. And I made this happen. I sacrificed and I made this happen for you. But don't give me that Rasi tomorrow. Because tomorrow may never come. And Mama smiled. We even put the dakshina on the table for Mama to offer. And she looked at me and she said, I change money and I have it in an envelope here. For when you say put dakshina, and you even say put dakshina. I say, but then you put dakshina. She said, but I know mines. I bring mines. She said, I change money and I get 1 cent, 1 cent to put for the no grant thing, you know. She said, but I put your money and you go get all the blessing and me go get none. She said, hey, take the envelope now. And in my mind, I'm saying, if I take the envelope, I'm taking the karma. I'm taking away the blessing that I will get. But if I don't take it, she'll be unhappy. Now, I'm afraid to tell her, Mama, we didn't cook chana, we cooked soup. I'm afraid to tell her because I don't know what her reaction is going to be. Because you know when they have prayers, they want curry and they want rice, and you could have 100 days prayers. Huh? They want chana and they want roti and they want pumpkin. So I go up to her and I say, Mama, if I tell you something, we make soup, you know. She said, Baba, well, if I tell you something, I over like soup. I say, Mama, well, in my mind, thank God. And I say, Mama, we make it with plenty sauce, huh? Because you know why? Plenty people in a little pot. So I tell them, put macaroni and put dumpling and stretch it so that everybody will get. But do you know that tonight you will get soup too? Because you could never make a little bit of soup. There is nothing that you can do to make a little bit of soup. True or not? The pot overflowed. Everybody packed, everybody ate, everybody carried, and the pot still full. And that was made this evening, after lunch, afternoon. And there is still soup. For anybody who wants soup, you're able to eat that this evening. And Mama is eating this soup and I'm afraid to go by the table, because you know Mama's sharp. She's looking. I'm sure she's looking. And I pass by, I say, Mama, I give you the soup just how I like it, you know, with plenty sauce. This time, you know why? It's stretched soup, you know. And Mama said, Baba, God bless you. This is exactly how I like my soup, with plenty sauce. Huh? It is not what you do. It is how you do, what you do that makes the difference. It is not what you say. It is how you say, what you say that makes the difference. It is not what you are asking for. It is how you ask for what you are asking for. Chances are you may get it or you might never get it. True or not? And so Hanumanji stands, he has no clue what is happening. And so as Hanumanji stands, the Katha tells us finally tonight, listen. O Mangal Bhavanaya Mangal Hari Prabhu Sudasarata Ajira Bihari Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sing with me, everybody. Let's sing together.
Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
O sab kah Ram priya kar mori Nisechar kapi kaha danushan bhori Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. O sabhi priya ka japataya nama mohi andikar hadas pardama Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
बेहुदे हनुमान राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम. Sing with me, everybody. सिया राम जय जय. Sing with me. I want to hear you. राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम सिया. Sing with me with all your love, everybody together. ओ मंगल भवनय मंगलहारी द्रवहु सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम. Sing with me to all your love, everybody. Oh Mangal Murati Maruti Nandana Sakalaya Mangal Murani Kandana Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hanuman is standing, and standing there, the instruction is given, shoot him. And every arrow he sees coming towards him, every arrow coming towards him, you know what he's doing? Puts his hands together. Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. They're shooting one after the other, shooting him and shooting these arrows towards him. All he's doing, Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Their hands become tired, their legs become weak, and so they can no longer stand, they can no longer shoot. And all Hanumanji is doing, his hands are together. Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Oh Raghukul Riti Sada Chaliyaye Pran ne jaye Varupacan ne jaye Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram. I can't hear you. Sing with me. Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram. Tonight Hanumanji is standing in a courtyard. Everybody is looking on and they're shooting arrows. Every arrow come towards him. Ram. When life begins to shoot arrows at you, when people begin to talk and say the worst things about you, and perform actions that is supposed to cause hurt and to bring you down to zero, you know what you have to do? Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai. Some people talk because they have a mouth and not necessarily because they have anything good to say. Some people talk because of envy, because of the anger they have inside of them. And you know what they're angry about? They're angry with their own self. And the only thing you could share, or the only thing you could give, is something that you have, So if you have happiness and you have peace and you have contentment, then you're able to share that, isn't it? But if you are a bitter person and you are angry with your own self, then what can you share? What will you be able to share? You have a container of food and everybody else hungry. What you'll do? Share food, isn't it? Isn't it? But if you give a hungry man money and you can't buy anything, will he eat the money? Can you eat the money? You know much people hungry and they have money and they'll never buy something to eat? Huh? You prefer to buy something to dress up and look nice than to buy something to fill your stomach. You go in the grocery and you watch the price and you put it back, eh? But you go in the expo and they say cheap, cheap, just for you, only for you. Huh? I drop the price only for you, you good customer. Huh? I buy one, get next one, quarter price. Huh? You buy. Huh? Yeah, designer, only designer piece. Huh? You buy. It's a one piece. Huh? When you put it on, you go in the function and you see everybody wearing the same one piece. What they tried to tell you is they only had one piece remain from the batch that they had. And you think one piece, you're getting a bargain. We want a bargain with everything. Strange, huh? Anything you have to do for yourself, you want to do it on a bargain. Anything you have to do for yourself, you have to bargain. Huh? I have come to the realization, I go to the grocery, I am not looking at the price. You know why? I'll get frustrated. Huh? Trinidadians, we behave very confused. We are a very confused society. We live as though we are living in Lanka. The definition was the blind leading the deaf. That was the definition of Lanka. When Hanuman had to talk about what he experienced in Lanka, he says it was as though the blind was leading the deaf. Because Ravan, he's blinded by his own ego and everybody's just following anything he said. The gas price gone up, nobody say nothing. Eh? Up to now, not one man Joe talk nothing about gas. Nowhere. Nobody spoke anything about gas. Every time I go to that gas pump, I feel I have to take 2 pressure tablets. Every time I go to that gas pump, I feel as though smoke coming out of my ears. When I think about the amount of money I have to pay for gas. My mother just came from Bhagwat and went back. And she looked at me and she said, well, when I'm coming next, tell me what to bring. And so I will bring. I say, girl, if I tell you what to bring. She said, what? I say, you bring flour, yes? Pull it in your suitcase and bring flour. She said, flour? I say, yeah, flour gone up. And nobody said anything about flour. Huh? Nobody have anything to say about flour. Who is it flour? Who is it flour? Hello, let us be real. Who eats flour? Who is suffering? Huh? They're talking about land tax. You all know? Who has most properties? Huh? Who owns most properties? The others renting and sponging. You all know? The others squatting. They can't move them because they're squatting. Huh? They're squatting and they're in charge because they watch the people who have and they run into their house 4 o'clock in the morning and put a gun by their head and nobody's saying nothing. And the minute they get shot, my son was over good. Well, now he best. Because you know why? Jai Biakela. He's at his best. Because he was a pest. Nobody complaining. Nobody complaining. Do you know how much homes have been invaded? Do you know how much robberies have happened? Do you know how much people go in the grocery and they can't afford? And they shoplifting and taking up all sorts of things and putting it in their pocket. It have the ones who wicked to it. They're going to take things to make party and have a line. Eh? One of the grocery proprietors said to me, he said, we catch a man and he thieving Nescafe. And bottles of Nescafe. So I say, what you do? You call the police? He said, no, I do better than that. I tell him, open the bottle and start to eat. You like Nescafe? Eat it. Eat it. And in my mind I say, oh God, that's what you do the man? I don't know what's the biggest sin. Him thieving it or you making him eating it or who going to hell? I don't know what is happening. But do you know there are people who can't afford basic things? We are entering into a new academic term where parents have to buy a uniform for their children and they have to buy books for their children and they could hardly buy food because flour gone up. You all know? Huh? There was a proverb that I used because when I was going to school, I love bread. Eh? The mantra in our home is bread or Oh, you all know it? The mantra in our home is bread or dead. But I'm not ashamed to say, no, I can't look at the price. I just have to pick up the bread and don't even ask how much it, because you know why? If I think for the price, I never eat bread again in my whole life. But nobody said anything about that. And the minute you talk about it, you know what happened? You hear what he's saying? You hear what he's talking? Dharma is politics, you know. You all know that? Our religion is politics, you know. Our religion has taught us that we must fight for ourselves, you know. Because nobody will fight for you. The people who have nothing want to live off the people who they think have everything. We don't have, you know. We don't have. But nobody will know that we don't have, because we have learned Santosham Paramam Sukham. To eat little and live. To eat little and be contented. To have little and smile through it. To wait with a smile. We have learned that. Huh? But they want brand new shoes to go to the fete. Huh? They want a brand new shirt and to go to the fete. But they ain't working. So they had to rob somebody to get it. And when they come in your home and you do something to them, you know what happened? You wrong, eh? You wrong. If they come with a gun and you shoot them, you go into jail because they're charging you for manslaughter. They had to shoot you first, then you could shoot them. Crazy, eh? Crazy. Mad. And we sit down and we laugh. You know, that's so good, eh? That's really nice. And we sit down and laugh about all the serious, critical things. And that's why we will continue to be dealt and treated as though we are foolish people. That's why we continue to be oppressed and suppressed. And we'll never have a voice. Because in unity there is strength. And if we all join together, putting aside our ego and putting aside our position and putting aside our race and putting aside our religion and putting aside all of those things, and we fight, you know what will happen? We'll make a statement. I saw in some part of India where they were upset because of the rise of prices in food. Did you see what happened? I think it's Chennai. I'm not sure. Huh? Is it? Sri Lanka. Listen to me. And I just talk about Lanka. Look, in Lanka, in this place where Ravan was, they all rioting and fighting. You know why? Because they cannot afford food. They all leave their homes and go into the street and they're fighting and protesting because they cannot afford food. We will live, you know, because we know how to eat bhaji. We would live, you know, because we know how, if it have no bhaji, we could pick some pepper leaf and a pumpkin leaf and we could make bhaji with that. We were taught survival. We know that. We know how to eat onion takari. You ever eat that? We know to eat tomatoes fried rice. You ever eat tomato fried rice? Huh? It's because it had nothing else to cook and it had tomatoes and rice. It's tomato fried rice, and you think it's this exotic meal, eh? Isn't it? The mother so want to impress you that she cooking because she had nothing in one. She curry the aloo and she boiled the rice and she know how you go twist your mouth from here to Tobago, so she boiled something and throw it inside there. Cheap, everything cheap. And that's the best dish you'll eat, you know. You know that? Be real, it's the best thing you'll eat. And you're contented, you know. You ever eat rice and butter? Huh? You ever eat bread and condensed milk? You ever eat hops and solo? Dip the bread in the soft drink? You ever do that? You ever eat cricks and zabuka? You ever eat cricks and pepper sauce and cheese? Huh? You'll live. You'll be happy. It's the best food. You know what they call that now in the Western world? Comfort food. You ever hear that? That's not your meal, you know. That's your snack after the meal. That's why you can't fit on the chair. That's why when you walk 2 footsteps, you can't breathe. Huh? Long ago, Sunday, you will get a Coca-Cola and they will buy a 2 liter. Eh? They'll fill up the glass with ice and they'll give you the Coke after, because you know why? More ice it have, less Coke you'll get now. And everybody will get some. So you're stretching it indirectly. Eh? So you grow up with that tradition. So you know what you think now? You tell yourself, I can't drink it unless it's real cold. Eh? Huh? Your mother taught you that. I can't drink it. It had to be real cold for me to enjoy it. Huh? But this time they're stretching it, you know. They're making sure everybody get. That one Coca-Cola, you had 20 people in the house, everybody gets some, you know. Huh? And long ago, we didn't have cup and glass and plate and thing. You know what they drinking it? Condensed milk cup. You ever drinking that? They used to say tin cup. You ever drinking a tin cup before? Long ago, you wanted some tea, Monilal. You know what your mother will do? She'll put some milk in an enamel cup and put the enamel cup on top of the stove. She'll mix the Milo and the sugar and everything right inside it, and you better do holy handle, you know. Huh? Now everything is microwave. You swear the children born with a microwave plug on somewhere in the ears or somewhere. Everything is microwave. Popcorn, microwave. Anything, microwave, microwave. Long time you pop in popcorn, it was a exciting thing, you know. Huh? You take the tower and cover the pot. You all ever did that? Take the tower and cover the pot because you're so excited. You want all the steam to remain in the pot. Now we have so much and we enjoy so little. Now we have so much and we still live as though we are poor. Now we have so much, and you know what? Our ego has prevented us from enjoying what we should enjoy. Because we have become slaves. That's what we became. We became slaves. You're a slave to the business. You're a slave to your job. You're a slave to your children. You're a slave to everything. And you know what happened? The minute you're dead, they ain't sending a condolence letter or a postcard to your family, you know. They're trying to find somebody to replace you. Huh? Nobody care about you. You're dead already. What will you do?